Hi there. So continuing our journey on learning neural networks, in this video we'll be learning what memoization is. So memoization is a very important concept that falls under the umbrella of backpropagation. And what is backpropagation? So backpropagation is the methodology, is the key methodology that is used to learn the weights in neural networks. So what memoization is exactly? Memoization is a concept that is learned as the part of analysis and design of algorithms. So some of you who have a computer science background, they'll be knowing how the algorithms are analyzed and designed and how they are optimized. And while learning the subject in your college, you might have you would definitely have come across dynamic programming, and memoization is a concept that forms the core of dynamic programming, which comes as a part of which is studied as part of analysis and design of algorithms. Now, because we have learned the method of updating our weights in a multi-layered perceptron in a very detailed way, it is now the time to see how the learning process is optimized using memoization. So let's say if we are updating weights at the W3 level. W3 level is this level. If you are able to recall, W2 level is this all the weights that fall in this stage, and W1 level we call the weights that fall in this stage. So at the W1 level we have altogether 4 into 3, that is 12 weights. At W2 level we have 3 into 2, 6 weights, and at W3 level we have 2 weights, that is W311 and W321. So we know that if we are using our gradient descent method to update our weights, then the rate of change of our loss with respect to our weight at the W3 level, let's say we are considering W311 first, is equal to rate of change of loss with respect to the rate of change of the output that is coming out of our function 31, that is O31, which is equal to basically your yi cap, multiplied by, using the chain rule, multiplied by rate of change of output O31 with respect to rate of change of our weight W311. And similarly we also know that for the rate of change of loss with respect to the rate of change of our weight W321 will be equal to rate of change of loss with respect to output that is received at 31, multiplied by, using the chain rule, rate of change of O31 with respect to rate of change of W321. So if you see here closely, we are calculating the rate of change of loss with respect to rate of change of output 31 2 times. So for updating this weight, we again have, for updating this weight W311, we are calculating dou L by dou O31, that is this part. Again, when we are updating our W321, again we are using the same rate of change of loss with respect to O31, dou L by dou O31, we are again using the same value here. Now let's say our algorithm first updates the weight W311 over here, and then updates W321, this weight over here. So for updating W311, our algorithm will follow this update expression, and for updating W321, our algorithm will follow this update expression. Now if you see closely, these two values are being used repetitively, that is dou L by dou O31 is being computed multiple times, first when W311 is being updated, and again when W321 is being updated, and this all is happening at the W3 level at for the weights over here. So this is where the idea of memoization fits in. So the values that are going to be used repetitively over and over in this algorithm, in this update process, will be first stored, and then the same value will be called and then used. Rather than computing it again and again and increasing the time complexity, it's better to store those values that are going to be used repetitively and then call those values whenever they are coming in the algorithm, whenever they are repeating in the algorithm. So this saves a lot of time and effort by reducing the time complexity of our algorithm, and it just uses a little bit of more space. The space complexity might increase slightly because the values that are being used that are being stored, that are going to be used repetitively, will be stored somewhere in the memory, and they will require slightly more space than the normal space complexity of the algorithm. Now let's check out what happens at the W2 level. That is, for the weights over here, we know how the weights at the W2 levels are updated. If you are not aware about how the weights are updated, please have a look on my last 2 videos, and you will get to understand in case how gradient descent is used to update the process, update the weights at each of the levels. That is the 6 weights over here, the 12 weights over here, and the 2 weights over here. And we have already analyzed the expressions for the 2 weights at the W3 level, and how the DAW L by DAW O31 value is repeated when the weights are being updated, when the weights W311 and W321 are being updated. Again, if we see at the W2 level, and if we check out the expressions using which the weights at the W2 level are updated. So this weight, how will this weight will be updated? This we will try to identify the rate of change of our loss with respect to the rate of change of output O31, and the rate of change of output O31 with respect of the rate of change of output O21. That is just a second, output O21, and rate of change of output O21 with respect to rate of change of W211. So this is represented over here. So at the W2 level, we have W211, we have taken only 3 weights out of these 6 weights, and we have wrote the formula, the expression of how the updates are done based on the changes in the loss function, how the weights are updated using gradient descent. And again, if you see, for the 3 weights that we have picked up at the W2 level out of the total 6 weights, if you see closely, we have this expression repeating repetitively. DAW L by DAW O31, which was repeating earlier here, this DAW L by DAW O31. So this value is being used at the W2 level repetitively. So don't you think it will be favorable in terms of time complexity if we, rather than computing the DAW L by DAW O31 every time the specific weights are being updated, if we store the value of DAW L by DAW O31, and whenever we need it, we will just call this value up and continue with our calculation. So that will make more sense, that will save our time and effort. And if we further see at the W1 level, we have total 4 into 3, 12 weights that are being computed over here. So when the updates will happen, it will happen for W111, W112, W113, for each of the weights over here up to W143. And if these weights have to be updated, what will be the expression? Again, if you are unclear about how we reach this expression, please watch my last 2 videos which clearly explains how the weights are updated using gradient descent in case of multi-layered perceptrons. So in this expression, again, if you see here, we have DAW L by DAW O31 again repeating over here. DAW L by DAW O31 is again repeating over here. So while updating the weights at the W3 level, we have this expression repeating 2 times. At the W2 level, when we had to update 6 weights, this expression will repeat how many times? 6 into 6 times 3 into 2, that is 3 into 2, 6 times. Again at the W1 level, we have to update 12 weights, so this expression will repeat 12 times. So altogether, if rather than computing the value of DAW L by DAW O31 20 times, that is 12 plus 6 plus 2, 20 times, wouldn't it be better to, or wouldn't it make more sense if we store the value of, if we calculate the value or compute the value of DAW L by DAW O31 just once, and call this value every time we are using using an expression to update our weights at each of the levels. So this is what memoization does. That is, given that any value is being used repetitively in your algorithm, the best way to handle it is to store that value in your memory. It will slightly increase the space complexity, and then in the algorithm, whenever it is that specific value or that specific term is being used repetitively, like we have DAW L by DAW O31 over here, you use that value, you call that value from this stored space in your memory, and you directly use it. So all this all this explanation was just to explain how memoization works. How memoization, this is the spelling, it's not memorization, it's memoization. So when memoization is combined with the chain rule of derivation, what we achieve is, when memoization is combined with the chain rule, what we achieve is called back propagation. And back propagation is the key concept that we use to update our weights in for a multi-layered perceptron or in deep learning. Okay, so now let's try to see how the other derivatives or derivative forms can be stored and be used repetitively. We just saw that if we store the value of DAW by DAW 031 over here, let's say we are storing it over here, DAW by DAW 031, if we store this value, if we compute this value over 1, if we compute this value DAW by DAW 031 once over here, then we can use this value repetitively. We can use this value repetitively to update our weights, 20 weights, 2 here, 6 here, 12 here. So we can use, once this DAW by DAW 031 is computed, we can use this value continuously to update the 20 weights. So we'll store it in some location, and then we will call it whenever we are updating the weights using the related expressions, as we have seen as the updating expressions from the gradient descent algorithm. So similarly, the way DAW by DAW 031 is continuously used in calculating all the 20 weights, similarly at this point also there is one derivative that keeps on, that is used repetitively to compute the 6 plus 12, 18 weights in these two layers, in the W1 layer and W2 weight layers. So at this position we can see that if we store the value of DAW 031, rate of change of 031 with respect to rate of change of output 22, 022 is this output. So if we store the value of rate of change of, if we compute the value of rate of change of output coming out over here 031, this output, with respect to our output 22, and if we are storing this derivative value after computing over here, then we can reuse this value to calculate the update expressions of all the derivatives where this is used repetitively. Similarly, if we store DAW 031, rate of change of 031 with respect to the rate of change of output 021, if we store this value over here, we can use this value to repetitively compute the weight updates for all the expressions where this value is used repetitively. So I'm just going to show where these values are used repetitively, or you can do this on your own as well, as we have already seen and analyzed the update expressions and how the weights are updated in each of the layers in our last two videos. You can do this on your own. Otherwise, I'm just going to show you, for example, how these weights are updated. We just saw that DAW 031 by DAW 021. This is the expression this is the derivative that can be computed once and stored to be used repetitively. Now, to verify where this derivative turns up repetitively, let's check out the second layer expressions. So in the W2 layer, when the weights are updated, they are updated using this formula. So if you see this value over here, just a second, if you see this value over here, the DAW 031 by DAW 021, does it ring a bell? Does this ring a bell? So DAW 031 by DAW 021, DAW 031 by DAW 021, you can see these values are being repeated continuously. And where did we see DAW 031 by DAW 021? So in the W2 layer, this derivative value is used 3 times. DAW 031 by DAW 021 is being used 3 times. So this value, if we store it, if we compute it just once, we can use it 3 times to compute the weights over the W2 layer. Similarly, if we compute DAW31 by DAW22, we can use again for updating 3 of the weights over here, that is W212, W222 and W232. To update these 3 weights, we can use this value computed once and then reused by just by calling without recomputing. This will save your time complexity. So again, these values will again be used in updating some of the weights of this layer. If we take the same expressions that we used for our W1 layer, let's check it out. So if you see here, we are using DAW31 by DAW21 again here, and we are also using DAW31 by DAW22 when we are updating our weight W111. So for updating a weight W111 from our first layer, from the first level, W1 level, we are using derivative of O31 with respect to O21, and again the derivative of O31 with respect to O22. So for each of the weights, we will be using these values repetitively wherever they turn up in the expression. So what memoization does is, memoization stores the value at this point. It stores DAW31 by DAW21 and uses it repetitively for updating the weights. And how the weights are updated? Using the derivative expressions that are found out using the chain rule. So we got to understand that at F31 level what we will be storing as part of memoization. We also got to understand that at F21 activation function 21, I mean over here, we also got to understand that what will be how memoization will be storing DAW31 by DAW21 and DAW31 by DAW22 at the W2 level. Now we will understand what do we exactly store at this level, okay. At this level, for each of the functions, we can see that there are 2 outputs going to, there are 2 branches that are going to different functions. For example, for F13, we can see that there is a branch going on to F21, and there is same output going to F22 as well. So if the output is O13 over here, we can see that output O13 is going to F21 and as well as F22. So at this point, we will have to store, we have 2 derivatives that are there that will be used repetitively. So what are the 2 derivatives that turn up over here? And why do we need to store 2 derivatives? I hope it is clear to you, because there are 2 branches that are going on as output to 2 different functions. Over here, if you see over here, we have only 1 branch that is going as output. Similarly, over here as well, we can see there is only 1 branch that is going on as output. But at F13, there are 2 output branches that are going to 2 different functions. So we have 2 different derivatives that need to be taken care of. So what will be the 2 derivatives that will be recording as part of memoization over here, or storing as part of memoization over here? So it will be DAW rate of change of our O22 with respect to rate of change of our O22 with respect to rate of change of O13, and rate of change of O21 with respect to rate of change of O13. Similarly, over here, what 2 derivatives will be storing? Will be storing rate of change of O21 with respect to rate of change of output. What is the output over here? O11, and rate of change of output O22, this branch, rate of change of output O22 with respect to rate of change of output O11. Okay. Similarly, for F12, it will be, let's try to write for F12 as well. Similarly, for F12, what it will be looking like? So it will be rate of change of output, this branch. Let's take this branch first. So rate of change of output 21 with respect to rate of change of output, what is the output over here? 12, and rate of change of output 2 2 over here with respect to rate of change of output. What is the output over here? 1 2. So this is how we'll be storing the values at each of the functions. Whatever values we are showing up in the rectangles over here, these values are stored. Actually, we are trying to represent the location somewhere, memory location, where these values will be once computed and stored and will be called and used whenever the update equations or update expressions for each of the weights with respect to the loss, depending on the loss function, will be updated using the gradient descent algorithm. So altogether, in this video you have seen how memoization can be combined with the chain rule of derivation using the update expression of the weights, and we can do a back propagation method, which is the key concept. This is back propagation, like updating the weights by doing a propagation backwards. So this is what is back propagation, which is used to update the weights and reach out to the optimal value where the loss is minimized, and basically we use various type of gradient descent algorithms. So I really hope that you like this video. If you have any questions, confusions, first rewatch this video and the last 2 videos, make your own notes, and still if you have any questions, post it in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to make another video on your problem. So okay, thank you for now. Goodbye.